So one of the stupidest things that happened in the history of AI that basically delayed the creation of models that we now know today as large language models was something called the AI winter. The AI winter happened because there was a big fight back in the early days of AI between people who thought you could create human-like intelligence by just figuring out like gigantic numbers of rules. The other camp was trying to pursue neural networks, which turned out to be the correct approach. Now, there was a famous AI researcher named Marvin Minsky who had a outsized influence on what people used to call AI back then. Minsky really hated neural networks, so he wrote a book that basically destroyed neural networks as a research topic for many years. But what is really stupid about this is that what the book showed and what everyone was shocked by in the AI industry or the AI research field was that a single layer neural network, which is called a perceptron, could not do a certain kind of logical operation. Now, I won't go into the technical details here, but suffice it to say that if you have even a basic undergrad understanding of mathematics, you should be able to see intuitively that a single layer perceptron shouldn't be able to do all logical operations. The way that I would describe it is a single layer perceptron can only make distinctions between two things that can be separated by a single kind of curve or surface. But obviously, in general, if you're trying to do any kind of logical operation, you may need to distinguish between things that can be separated by, let's say, an X shape or more complex shapes. So the fact that a single layer of simulated neurons cannot do certain logical operations should not have been a shock to anyone, at least anyone who had a decent understanding of math. But what's also obvious is if you have two layers of perceptrons, which is basically a two-layer neural network as we know it today, you can do exclusive OR and a whole lot of other things. In fact, it's been proven that a two-layer perceptron can do any kind of function approximation if you have enough nodes. The problem is these AI geniuses at the time couldn't figure out the math of how you would train a perceptron that was more than one layer. But in fact, the answer is obvious, again, to anyone with a solid grasp of undergrad mathematics, which is to use this thing called the chain rule. To me, it's shocking that the people doing AI at the time were so bad at math that they couldn't figure this stuff out. If an MIT math or physics major had looked at this, they could have sped up AI by years.